What's happening, people? Good morning, Europe. Welcome everyone to our live stream and happy Friday, people. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV in an effort of bringing the financial markets to your doorstep and help each and every one of you make informed decisions about investments and the amazing CFDs market. The episode today is proudly sponsored by our partners at forexandmarkets.com. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe on our YouTube channel and support us in delivering more great content. Join us next week and don't miss out the latest news from industry experts. We're going to start the week strong, guys, with Mark Priest, head of trading at ETX Capital, joining us at London opening nice and early on Monday morning. We're going to continue the day with João Monteiro, guys, founder and CEO at ForexC. That will bring us more insights at the US opening. We're only going to be one day from US elections. On Tuesday, guys, we have Neil Wilson, Chief Market Analyst at Markets.com, joining us for Election Day. Let's see what's going to happen in the U.S. markets. Let's see what Markets.com thinks about the markets and what Neil Wilson thinks will happen with the U.S. elections. And the week only gets better, guys, on Wednesday with Alex Katsaros, CEO at TopFX, Tier 1 liquidity provider in the FX industry. To sweeten up the deal, guys, I have a surprise guest that will join us very likely after the US election. Someone very famous, American, I'm going to give you a hint. So if you want to find out more, guys, join us starting Monday morning, one day ahead of the US elections, and don't miss out. Let's move on, guys. Let's see what happened today. Big day in the economic calendar. Big day in the economic calendar with lots of announcements. We started nice and early after midnight with industrial production coming from Japan on the Japanese yen. We continued with the producer price index on the Australian dollar and private sector credit. And we opened the day with announcements with the French GDP coming out 18.2%. In green versus a forecast of 15.4% in a previous of minus 13.7%. At 9 o'clock, we had nationwide HPI on the pound coming out. Again, green, guys, 5.8%, 0.8% respectively. In the same time, we had the German retail sales, which tanked a bit, negative 2.2%. For German retail sales, and French consumer spending, guys, also tanked to a negative 5.1% versus an expectation of only a negative 1%. Okay, we had more announcements. Retail sales announced on the Swiss franc, the French consumer price index. Okay, and we had the Spanish GDP coming out 16.7% versus an expectation of only 13.5%. Okay, in 54 minutes, guys, we're going to have the German GDP. Okay, which is expected to come out on a positive, as you see here, 7.3% is the forecast from the economists. We're gonna move on towards lunchtime, guys, with Italian CPI, again expected to come out on a positive 0.1%, and then core CPI and CPI in the Eurozone, guys, and as well as the GDP. Year over year and quarterly that will be announced, as long with the unemployment rate in the Eurozone, on the euro. The unemployment rate is forecasted to come out 8.3%, which is slightly higher than the previous. Hopefully the markets will surprise us today, guys, and we're gonna see a bit more green on the charts, as this week was very difficult for most currency pairs and the American stocks. We saw a lot of red on the charts this week. After lunchtime, guys, we're moving to closer to the US opening. We're going to have the core PCE price index announced, and lots of announcements. PCE price index, personal spending, GDP announced on the Canadian dollar at the same time at 2:30 GMT plus 2. Chicago PMI as well is going to be announced at 3:45 GMT plus 2. And then we end the week, guys, with the German president holding a press conference, and then the usual end of the week US Baker Hughes total recount. Let's have a quick look at the charts, guys, and see how the markets opened today. What happened last night on the market? We see crude oil trading slightly higher, guys, slightly higher than yesterday. Currently trading at $36 a barrel. Okay, we see the RSI and the stochastic pointing upwards, very, very shy. Probably, okay, even if the downtrend will continue on oil, guys, we're going to see oil heading slightly higher and trying to test the 50 moving average. Yeah, on a 1 hour chart. The Euro USD pair, guys, again, he's trying to trade slightly higher. He's currently trading at 116.83, aiming for that 50 moving average. Okay, at 117.12. Let's see, it's not a lot. It's about 30 pips from the price action now. Let's see, it's doable. It's very, very doable. The euro might reach that level. And then again, even if he's going to continue the downtrend, guys, and it's going to head lower towards, I'm going to show you the previous low now. There we go. Yeah, even if it's going to head lower, towards the 116.20, we see a death cross being formed. Yeah, the 50 moving average is breaking the 200 moving average. Is crossing it towards the downside. That usually indicates a bit of selling power. Okay, so it's not unusual that in times like this, we're going to see, we might see the euro testing the 116.24 or somewhere in that region, 116.20, as that's the previous low. We're looking at the pound, guys, which, as things stand right now, again, very similar story with the euro, with the European currency. Okay, we see a death cross being formed by the 50 and the 200 moving average. Okay, and a positive opening on the pound this morning. Yeah, trading at 129.29. Okay, but still way below the 130 level, the psychological level. Yeah, at 130. Let's see how the markets will do. Overnight, we saw the US dollar dropping finally on the Asian trading session again. It went up, it tested the 50 moving average, guys, and then it turned around, creating a bit of a downtrend, a bit of a meltdown on the market. Right, Aussie dollar, what's happening with the Aussie dollar? The Aussie dollar, again, dropped a bit, strengthened a bit on the Asian session. If you look at the last few candlesticks, we see a bit of green on the charts. Okay, and at the European opening, we see a green candlestick. Again, we expect a bit of a pullback after this massive drop that happened on the US trading session last night. Again, just like the other currencies, guys, we might see the Aussie dollar going up a bit, testing the 50 moving average, and then it might continue the downtrend. Let's see what the trading signals will say in a couple of minutes. USD Canadian, what's going on with the USD Canadian? The USD Canadian has moved above the 200 moving average on a 4-hour chart. Also on a 1-hour chart has moved above the 200 and the 50 moving average. Okay, and after a good rally on the Asian trading session, we see the markets turning around a bit again, probably going down to test the 50 moving average. Somewhere around the 133.05 mark, and then who knows? It might continue the uptrend. As the price is trading above the 200 and the 50 moving average. Now, the US 500, guys, the S&P 500 closed the day again in red yesterday, leaving massive gaps, which eventually, hopefully, will be filled. Okay, but again, no good news on the S&P or the Dow Jones. Okay, they traded slightly higher. I'm not going to say no, but still, it's a negative. They're still pointing towards the downside when they're closing. We can see both of them trading below the 50 and the 200 moving average. With dead cross being formed by the 50 and the 200. Okay, let's move on to the US dollar index, guys, which, just like the USD Canadian, has pushed really nice. And for technical traders, guys, this is a clear example of how Elliott waves work. And I'm going to give you a quick example. So Elliott waves basically tell us that the market moves in waves. You're going to have 5 consecutive waves. So we can consider this the first wave, the push towards the upside. We can consider this the second wave, which is the pullback. Then we see the third wave, guys, which usually is the longest wave, the longest push. And then a pullback for the fourth wave. Now, according to Elliott waves, okay, when something like this happens, we might finish it off with another push, which is the fifth wave, which will probably give technical traders a bit of hopes for take profit levels at 94 flat or 94,200, which is where the previous high was. Okay, this is how you might want to look at it from a technical point of view. Now, let's look at gold futures, guys, which currently are trading low, are trading at 1873. Yeah, slightly higher than yesterday, but still low, very, very low. If you remember, a couple of months ago, we were seeing gold trading at the 2000 mark, and everyone was setting their take profits at the 2200 or 2100 level. Okay, well, there you go. Markets can be unpredictable, and if you look at it on a daily chart, yeah, there you go. That was the most recent all-time high at $2,085 an ounce. Yeah, and now we see gold pushing lower. Yeah, on a daily chart. Apparently targeting the 200 moving average, but still there's plenty of space to go, of room to go. Okay, as we see it right now, we seem to see a support level, yeah, around this price, around the 1865. Yeah, and as we look at it on a daily chart, we can see a green candlestick, which usually implies quite a bit of buying power. What concerns me, let's say, is that the price did not manage to set above the 50 moving average. So currently it's trading between the 50 and the 200 moving average. That's where the price action is, with an intermediary support level at 1857. Yeah, we're somewhere in that region. RSI and stochastic, the RSI seems to be turning around. Looking at the bottom of the chart, it did not manage to go all the way into the oversold levels. Stochastic still points downwards on a 14 period, but with a bit of weakness in the US dollar, we might see another rally from gold today, ending the week hopefully with a bit of gains, after suffering heavy losses the entire week. Now we're looking at Brent oil futures, guys, which again are trading below the 200 and the 50 moving average on a daily chart. Okay, on a 1 hour chart, the same. We see a bit of positivity after European opening, with the RSI and the stochastic pointing upwards. Yeah, currently trading at 38.25. Again, it might go up and test the 50 moving average. Yes, so if you want to go long for a short period of time on Brent oil, guys, okay, you might want to look at 38.87 or somewhere in that region. Okay, we're just below that. Just get a few pips out of it. Okay, don't risk too much. We're looking at silver now, trading at 23.42. Again, big losses yesterday for silver, trading as low as 22.67. Okay, we saw it correcting sharply, testing the 50 moving average. By the looks of it, we see a positive opening on silver. Again, it's heading towards the 50 moving average. If silver will manage to settle above the 50 moving average, then probably traders will aim for this level, somewhere just below the 200 moving average, as the first take profit level. Okay, but again, it's still early in the morning. Let's see. Bitcoin, guys, your favorite, which gave back about $600-700 in the last two trading sessions. Yeah, we see it testing the 200 MA, pushing higher towards breaking the 50 moving average. Currently trading at 13,301. It's trading higher than half an hour ago. Who knows? We might see it gaining a bit today, gaining $200-400. It's not unusual for Bitcoin, guys, to see gains like this in only a few hours or only half a day. We saw it this week. We saw it on Tuesday. We saw it on Wednesday. Yeah, when Bitcoin went through the roof and it gained over $500-600 in just a few hours. Right, let's have a quick look at an interesting article. Let's see what's going on. Trump versus Biden, what's at stake in key emerging markets. Emerging markets have historically fared better with a Democrat as U.S. president, and after this year's underperformance under Republican Donald Trump, much of the sector might welcome the prospect of a Joe Biden victory in Tuesday's elections. Opinion polls ahead of November 3rd vote show Biden with a significant edge nationally over Trump in a race being closely watched by investors in developing economies, which account for nearly 60% of the global GDP. Right. Let's see from China's point of view what might happen or what's going to happen if Biden gets elected. As things stand right now, Joe Biden leads in the election with about 60%. Okay, and we see we're close to 60%, and we see Donald Trump 8 to 10 points behind Joe Biden. But again, this is pre-elections. We saw a lot of Americans pre-voted. Okay, let's see what the result will be. Now, let's see what China thinks about this. The world's two largest economies, whose health is paramount for economies around the globe, have been embroiled in a tit-for-tat trade war with under Donald Trump. The biggest global goods exporter at $2.6 trillion and a huge consumer of raw materials, China's economic engine fuels many commodity-dependent developing nations. Analysts would expect less bluster and volatility under a Biden presidency, but few predict a change in substance, with competitive issues over technology and military remaining. The difference between Biden and Trump appears more about style than substance, although style matters, said Marcelo Carvalho, global head of emerging markets research at BNP Paribas. However, protectionism is unlikely to go away. China is also staking out its place on capital markets with increasing access to 16 trillion bond market, sucking in billions of dollars in capital flows. The yuan, one of the top emerging currencies this year, is up nearly 5%. Okay, let's see what's going to happen from Russia's point of view. Prudent monetary policy, one of the strongest public balance sheets in the world, and the attractive real interest rates have made Russia a main state for investors, especially its $135 billion local sovereign bond market. However, U.S. sanctions over the annexation of Crimea, meddling in U.S. election, and the poisoning of a former Russian spy in Britain in 2018 enjoyed bipartisan support in Washington. The push for more curbs could gain fresh momentum under Biden compared to Trump's open administration of his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin. A surprise winning following Trump's 2016 victory, the ruble has recently felt the heat, slipping more than 20% this year, guys. Tremendous losses for the Russian ruble, as well as for the Turkish lira very recently, guys. The question now on investors' minds is whether we are now going to see a return to this harsh sanctions agenda involving areas such as sanctions on sovereign debt, dollar transactions by state banks, or energy exports. Kunjal Gala, global emerging markets portfolio manager at Federated Hermes, stated, Mexico, guys, we're moving on to Mexico. We're getting closer to the U.S., basically, to the U.S. border. A Biden presidency would ease border tensions and could see a fresh influx of foreign direct investment into Mexico as the two neighbors implement a trade deal designed to claw back jobs from China. But Biden would also face political and corporate pressure to curb efforts, to sideline private companies in Mexico's energy sector and ensure its government honors commitments to strengthen labor laws to make outsourcing American jobs tougher, a priority for U.S. trade tensions. Markets are backing Mexico as the Biden trade. The peso gained 4.3% this month, making it the best performing emerging currency and cutting year-to-date losses to only 10%. This is from Mexico's side. We have Brazil, guys. Despite close ties between Trump and President Jair Bolsonaro, Brazilian exports to the U.S., its second largest trade partner, fell by a third to a decade low in the first 9 months of 2020, partly due to Washington's protectionist policies. This has added to pressure from the severe coronavirus hit to Brazil's economy, while its debt-to GDP ratio is on track to hit a record of close to 100%. The real has tumbled 30% since the start of the year, the worst performing major emerging currency. Okay, this is what is happening. So we see some mixed views. What's going to happen, guys? No one knows. Join us again on Monday morning, guys. And we're going to start the week strong with Mark Priest, head of trading, head of equities markets at ETX Capital. Okay, 1 day ahead of U.S. elections. How will the markets react? What will the U.S. dollar do? Okay, we're going to witness it together. Now, quick one before I let you go for today, guys. U.S. death toll from Hurricane Zeta rises to 6 people and millions of people without power. So apparently, Hurricane Zeta made landfall last night. At least 6 people were killed in the southeast of the United States, and more than 2 million people were without power today. On Thursday, after Hurricane Zeta slammed into the Gulf Coast and moved northeast, towards New York, let's say, towards Philadelphia, towards New York, somewhere there. The first confirmed death from Zeta was a 55-year-old man in New Orleans who was electrocuted by down power line. The Louisiana Department of Health told Reuters. Okay, Alabama and Georgia also suffered. A lot of people vacated their homes. Okay, let's see. Hopefully now the Hurricane Zeta will be downgraded to a tropical storm, and not a hurricane. And things will get back to normal, or as close to normal as possible, considering we are only 4 days away from U.S. elections, guys. Right. This was it from my side today, guys. Join us nice and early Monday morning for London opening with Mark Priest, head of trading at ATX Capital. Until then, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.